But first, I am joined by Satidra Smith, a gun violence survivor and organizer of the local Wear Orange event, along with Dylan Koosman, group lead for Moms Demand Action. Welcome to both of you. Thank you for being here today.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you.
Satidra, let's start by talking about your story. You brought a picture right here today. Tell us about who this is and your story when it comes to gun violence and why you're so passionate about this.
Yes, ma'am. I'm Satidra Smith, and this is my son, Jordan Clark. 8 years ago, it will be in August, he was murdered here in the city. And I knew that after he passed, I would need a support group to help me out with my grief. And I was searching and couldn't find anything, and then I came across Moms Demand Action, and that's how I became a part of their organization. And that's been since 2016, and so far I have met many of families and friends now that are walking in my same shoes.
And you know, for so many moms, and I'm a mom of a son, and it's just really unimaginable to think about that loss. And that's why I said when I came up here and I said, tell us about your story and you know what this means to you and why you're so passionate about this. Dylan, let me get to you and talk about this. When we start talking about this organization and Moms Demand Action, how this got started, and you know the climate that you're in here in Tennessee when you start talking about gun violence and you know the fight for you know whether it's gun reform or whatever that may be. Talk a little bit about that and your mission.
Moms Demand Action started in 2012 when a woman named Shannon Watts organized a Facebook group after the Sandy Hook tragedy. And it was initially a group of moms who were saying, we can do better than this, we can change this. And it grew in the last 10 years to now it's a group that encompasses all different kinds of people with chapters in cities in all 50 states in the nation. And here in Tennessee, as you say, in an average year, we lose over 1,300 people a year. Their lives are taken from us by firearms. And for every person shot and killed, 2 are wounded. And many others are witnesses to those events, and they're traumatized as well. So the rings of grief and trauma kind of emanate out from these tragedies. And like Satidra was saying, people can feel really alone. Not only the survivors, but the people who are reading about them in their newspapers. They can feel sad, it can feel disempowered. And what our event is all about is bringing people together, letting them know that they're not alone. And there's a lot of solidarity in coming together and feeling the support of other people, because like Satidra told me before, it's difficult to explain how she feels.
I can only imagine, because we can't really imagine, Satidra, for a lot of us who are people who are watching and sitting up here listening to you, how you feel, the pain that you feel, the anguish and the emotions that you go through on a daily basis. And let me ask you, you know, we had we're talking about all types of gun violence here. We had a horrific mass shooting in our state, in Nashville, the Covenant School. And then we saw a movement towards gun reform, led by 3 of our lawmakers. Are you all hopeful in any way that you will see change when it comes to gun reform in the state of Tennessee? Satidra?
Yes, I am. Yes, I am, but I also know that we can speak about gun reform, but I call it people reform, because it's people that uses the guns. They are the reason why. It's not the guns. You know, they can't just automatically shoot themselves. So that's what I think. That's where I think we need to start. It's more harsh punishments.
Okay, and you want to invite everybody out, and that's a really good point, because from you personally, from a mom, from going through this, and tell us your son's name again.
Jordan Clark.
Jordan Clark.
He was 20 years old.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
And so you want to invite everyone out there to this event.
We do, and I do just want to reemphasize, we are a hopeful group, and we do believe in the power of change. And we're part of Everytown for Gun Safety in America, which has over 10 million supporters. And so we are, and I think that Representative Jones and Johnson and Pearson would agree with us that this is a time to be hopeful, and that we can come together and make some changes that keep us safer, keep our families safer. I think parents everywhere can agree that we all want our families to be safe, we want our communities to be safe, our children to be safe. So our event is June 4th at Miller Park from 2 to 4. And it's a Wear Orange event. We invite survivors to bring a photo or a flower to place at a memorial for their lost loved ones. And we're there to honor victims and survivors and to call for an end to the crisis.
Okay, and just in about 15 seconds, I know you could probably go on, but what do you want people to remember about your son?
How gracious he was, how kind he was, how loving he was, and he was a protector of all. And that's the reason why he's probably not here today.
Okay. So Tidra, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Dylan, thank you as well.